You already know the vibe. You already know the vibe. Another good episode. Another good episode. You already know the vibe. Today we're going to get into another episode of how to rap with Roaster and how to write songs with me, your boy Roaster. For all the other episodes, you can go to BLOKK and check out all the other episodes because the other episodes are leading into this episode, and we're going to expound on that from there. As you can see, we most definitely going to expound from there. So to me, the first step in going about starting a song is this. If you start with a title, right? The first thing I would suggest to an artist is start with a title. If you start with a title gives you parameters on what you want to say, and it's the vision of the song that you present to the listener. All right. So coming up with the title first, it gives you a chance to pick a subject and expound on it, just like a brainstorm bubble. So, you could come up with a verse just out of your mind. But if you come up with a title, it gives you subject matter that falls under that title or that subject, right? I'm going to expound a little bit when I go into this brainstorm bubble, right? So let's say you pick a topic of whatever your topic is, right? Just like in this brainstorm bubble, right? Let's say it's sports, right? You're doing something about sports, right? It's not based on a specific sport, right? It's just sports, right? So when you go into sports now, sports also has things that fall under sports, right? So if you go to sports, just sports alone could be broken down into team sports, contact sports, individual sports, and water sports, right? And in team sports, you got basketball, baseball, football, hockey. In contact sports, you got soccer, rugby, right? What's that? Basketball, football, or what have you, right? And so on and so forth, right? So with this topic that you got, or this subject, this title, right? It creates other topics or other titles like an umbrella under that topic, just like this brainstorm bubble, right? So you come up with your topic of whatever that thing is, right? Then you start going, what things relate to that topic, right? So you start getting, it's like a brainstorm bubble. You can start it just like that, like a brainstorm bubble for younger people that want to write music. You can start it just like that. You start it like with a brainstorm bubble where you got this thought, this song is about this, and this is the title to it. Then you start going, I want to rap about this. I think this is about this. This relates to this. And then you start to get different things that you can rap about or add to that, right? So now look, how do you write? That's a big thing. A lot of people don't know, like the hardest thing is to just go about music. Sometimes it's just to begin writing, So I think that writing is just like how I'm doing this live stream. You just got to get in and you just got to do it. You know what I mean? You just got to write. How do you begin writing, right? Start by choosing one of the bubbles that's related to this title, right? Whatever this topic is, you choose one of the bubbles that's related to the topic, right? Then you put it into a bar, or in other words, one line of rap. A bar is one line of rap. Some people get confused. What is a bar? How do I write 16 bars? Just look at a bar as one line of rap, which usually ends in a rhyming word, right? So after you got this bubbles, right? And then you take one of the bubbles and you put one of these bubbles into a bar, right? Now I can expound on that. I could go into more details on that first line, given more description, right? Because this is the whole thing about writing, not just music, writing anything, is that you most definitely want to be descriptive when you're telling your story or whatever it is that you're saying, right? So now look, so you take the bar, right? And you put it into one line of rap. Now I could go on from that one line of rap, from that bar, and go deeper into details of whatever that first bar is, whatever it is. I could go into detail about that bar, or I could move on to something else that is related to my subject matter, to my topic, or one of my other brainstorm bubbles, right? So after we put one line of rap, right, we have the option that I could go further into more details of that first line, or go further into detail about the whole subject or the title itself, right? So now after that, if I don't want to do that, I could give, like I said, you give more details about the first line and make that rhyme though as well, right? So this is your first line you made. You took a bubble, you made that rhyme. Now you give me more details about that line, right? You give me more details about that line and make that rhyme, right? A lot of times we think of music about the way we feel, which music is a thing that comes from the inside. It's a feeling like that. I get it, but it's also a thing that's for people. So you got to sometimes look at how people see things, right? So go into how it makes you feel, or how it makes people feel around you. You know what I'm saying? So you see how it's building. It starts from this bubble and this topic and this subject that I'm going into. Then it leads to other like subsidiary topics that falls under this main topic, this focal point that you're talking about, right? Now I can go into that first bar. Remember, a bar being one line of rap. I can go into that, go into more details of that first bar, or I can move into more of what the subject is talking about, which is pick another bubble or something else that's related to my topic, right? So now I can go into how it makes me feel now, right? Because one thing you're saying about it, now you could go into something descriptive of how this thing or this subject or this thing, that this line that you just rapped, or whatever this situation is, how does this make me feel? So now this is giving you more things that you're thinking about rapping, see? So this is how we build in all of our lines. But as you're building, you're getting more food for thought, as I would say, right? You get more food for thought, right? So you go into how it makes you feel, right? But also it should go into how it makes people around you feel, right? So, because a lot of times we deal with people every day. So we know how other people think. I may know how my mother think, or my friends, or my brothers, or somebody else may think. So I might take my brother or my friend's thought or opinion into consideration in something, or the worldview, maybe something that you see on the news, maybe see something that you're seeing in politics, or whatever it is in the world, My next fact that I think about how do you go about beginning to write music, right? You don't want to force anything, right? And how you don't force things is by rapping or writing about things that you know. If you talk about things you know, it comes more fluently. It's more native to you. It's more organic to you because you know these things. Instead of having to make up things, that's the downfall of a lot of artists, that they go about creating this facade of the life or whatever it is that they don't live or that is not them, and then they lose their fan bases. So write your memories and don't force to make things up, right? So if you write your memories, you'll see that memories are easier to remember because you know them just like the back of your hand. You know what you've been through. You know your story. You know your struggle. You know your plight. You know your good. You know your bad. You know your good times. You know your bad times, right? So why not write those things? Instead of trying to be down, this is where a lot of artists and new artists go wrong, is trying to fit in. Right? Rap is not about fitting in. A lot of these new artists now, everybody just wants to fit in. Rap was a thing that everybody wanted to fit out. This is how rap began in the very beginning of time. It was about people that was fitting out. It wasn't about fitting in. The world ended up fitting into rap. But rap wasn't about just about the world. It was about people venting how they felt. So don't do things to fit in, right? Write your memories, right? Why, when you build this fan base, right, build it off of things that you know. Be personable. Like some artists are not real personal artists. I'll give you an example. Like, let's say Fabulous, right? Fabulous is a great artist, a great lyricist, everything in the whole world, right? Fabulous is great. I can't lie. Fabulous is a great artist, but Fabulous is not a personal rapper, right? So sometimes you say, damn, why Fabulous never get to that next level? why he never get to that next, because he's nicer than predominantly half the rappers that are rapping. The only person you could probably say sometime, they be like, Jada, fabulous, Jada, fabulous. And it just so happened that they end up doing an album together, Freddie and Jason, right? But Fabulous is not a personal artist. He doesn't go into personal things about his life, right? He's not a personal artist. Instead, look at another one. Now let's look at a personal artist like an Eminem, right? Eminem is personal. You know all about his life. You know all about his friends. You know all about him. Like Jay-Z's another person like this. But Eminem, right? You know Haley. We all know Haley, right? We all know Kim. We all know people in their circle. We all know their life. And this is what makes an artist more relatable. And this is why their fan bases dive into them as deep, because we can relate to them. They're vulnerable. You can see them, right? Some artists just, you know, however you feel. You may say, I'm not an artist, that's a personal artist. That's no slight on you as an artist. Be the artist that you want to be. Be the artist that's best for you. Whatever artist that you feel you want to be. Fit into your box. Don't fit into any other box or any other standards. Fit into your box. So that's some of the steps about how you go about beginning to write, right? You start by choosing one of your bubbles that's related to your title. Then you put one of those bars, or a bar, you know, meaning one line of rap. You put one of those bubbles, topics, into a bar, one line of rap. Then you could give more detail. I could go rapping and talk about that same last line, or I could go into something else by giving more details, right? And then make that rhyme. Then I can go into how it makes me feel. I could go into how it makes people feel around me, right? How it makes people maybe feel in the world, right? Depending on who you're trying to reach, right? Because if you're doing music, you can't just do music for yourself and try to reach the world. Sometimes people strike it rich, but the music that reaches the world are things that people can relate to, and it's very personable to a person. Everybody could see themselves in the same situation. Some people that write music sit back and say, damn, how didn't I think about writing that song? That's how good the song is. You know, some people sit back and think of it, and they just have to listen to this record to do something. Maybe just to have a good time. I just like to listen to this record. So records create moods and songs create moods. So when you begin writing, think about the mood you're in. Think about the mood of the song. Think about the mood that you want the listener to be in. You know what I'm saying? Don't just think of everything from the way you think about things. Think about the listener, because everything is always about the listener, right? So we're going to move forward. So choose a strong structure, right? So now you got your title, you got your bubbles, you building bars now, you go on one bar, you made something rhyme, you're making feats right now, you're making feats right now, right? You're most definitely making feats. So salute to you. If you're taking these steps right now, you're taking great steps and you're doing the right thing, right? So now you say, damn, how do I go about structuring this now, right? Because you could just write forever, right? Right? What is going to be the difference, right? So how do you go about choosing a structure now? So there's no right or wrong way to choose a structure of a song. It's however you feel, it's however you should do a song. You say, damn, I just felt like I just want to do the verse right here, and I just want to drop the hook, man. I just felt like I wanted to do I just felt like I wanted to do the hook real quick, and then I just wanted to drop my verse real quick. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to do that real quick, So however it goes, however it really goes, right? So you choose a song structure, right? Hook, chorus, right? The hook is the chorus. So hook is a rap chorus, and a chorus is a singing chorus, right? A singing hook. So you go hook, chorus, the hook of the chorus. Then they usually do the verse. Sorry for the typo on that, right? Then they do the verse. Then you can do a hook, and then you do a verse, and usually do a hook, right? And that way about going about things was usually an old song structure, right? Hold on, let me get my light. Sorry, y'all guys. Sorry, y'all. Right? And this is my Evo. I can't just drop. Have to fix that, right? So, like, listen, right? So you choose a song structure, right? Yeah. So you choose a song structure. So now you could go verse, hook or chorus, right? Then verse, then hook. You could go verse, hook, chorus, then your verse, right? You could go your hook, then your verse, then a hook, and just leave it done like that. Shit fire. If you got like a catchy hook, you could just do your hook. Don't stink it up with a long verse and drag the verse out. Do a quick verse, a quick 16. You could do that. Sometimes people do 8 bars. I'm going to get into that a little bit after I get into the rest of this, though. I'll let you know a little bit about that and show you how some artists like pioneered that. XXX Tentacion, most definitely RIP to XXS. He was most definitely a blessed soul, a blessed spirit, and very musically inclined as a young man. You know, I know a lot about music, and I'm telling you that he was very, very musically inclined. And, you know, he changed some of the song structures and some of how he did verses. When he did his album, he made like all of the songs with like 2 minutes. So he's like one of the first people doing stuff like that. Drake was doing a lot of that. A few artists did it too as well, but he did like a whole album just like that, though. If you look at his album, his last like project, when he was like, he did all the songs just like that, 2 minutes. So if you're doing like 2-minute songs, that means the hook is coming, you're doing a quick verse, you coming back with the hook, and then you out. Or you probably do like a quick little verse, bring the hook or whatever, then do like a quick little hook again, like an 8-bar verse. And then you do like an 8-bar verse. So instead of me doing a 16, I ought to do a hook, and then I'll do an 8-bar, then I might do a hook, and then do an 8-bar. Right? This is what I mean by how you can play with the structure, and there's no limit to how you can play with the different structures of structuring a song, right? So you could go hook and just the verse. Some people do that, just the hook is fire, and just do a verse. You know what I mean? You don't have a hook and you don't know how to build hooks. I'm going to go into some of those on further episodes of how you go about building hooks. I'm going to go into how you go about recording hooks. How do you, all of these song structures and different things, and how you go about structuring music. Because some things are just raw talent. You just probably have a raw talent. You just go in there, just know where things go. Randomly, you just know that, okay, I think this sound goes there, that goes there, this ad-lib goes there. Some people just got a knack and a savvy for music or sounds and different things. You might not. So with that, you're going to need structure. Even if you have a savvy, you still need structure. I always relate to Michael Jordan. You know, you run around shooting shots and all of that. It's good. But when you start getting that structure, you start to win chips. Period. Right? So hook, verse, right? Or you could go just verse, right? But you never want to just do hook unless you want someone using your song. So just don't do hook, right? Unless you want somebody on that hook or something. If you want, you could catch a catchy hook and you just drop a fire hook and it repeats. You could do stuff like that. You know, it's a record like by Modjo, Modjo, which is like a group. I think they're from like Spain or something. I don't know where they're from, but their music is like a world sound, like a band world sound. And I think they have a song called Lady, and the song says the same lyrics. I know 2 songs like this I can name. Modjo Lady, and it's another song, but Modjo Lady, it just says like 4 bars. And those same 4 bars repeat through the whole entire song. And the song is a hit song. So that's crazy. That breaks the bounds of what you can do with a song. And what is a hit song? Because it's a hit song. And it only says 4 bars. It says, lady, I want to tell you, you're feeling love for the first time. And I can't bother looking at you. And then the beat just goes for 16 bars. So they actually reverse the formula. The hook, the verse actually goes for like 4 bars, like a hook would normally go, but you don't have to keep that structure. I'll go into some hook structures further down in episodes, right? So they got a 4-bar verse, and then the hook, the beat is playing. The beat is going for 16 bars. You know, you could do stuff like that when you own your music, when you own your beats. But these people are playing loud beats too. So this is their beat. Their band made this beat. So even if they said 2-3 words on this, they band made that beat. So you rocking out to the beat, you still rocking out to their tune, and you still rocking out to what they created. You see what I'm saying? So it's just unlimited boundaries. There's no boundary actually, but just endless possibilities, I would say, you know what I mean, of what you can do with song structure. You know, this is a quick live. You know, Justin just hit me up, so I just wanted to do a quick thing. I just really just put this because I've never done a presentation slide. I really do it with things popping up on the screen. So I just wanted to do it like this where he could see it. So I just tried it like this. So this was really on the fly. I wasn't planning to do this, but I think this is needed after me giving the bars and then my last tutorial and me talking about the metronome and how you can record and understanding what tempos are. And when you understand that, then you understand about bars and then speed and how speed adds to bars and how you could fit more words in that one bar by multiplying the syllables and bringing the words close, the rhyming words closer together, things like that. That's why I reference like Twister and I reference Tupac in that episode. That's episode 2. So you could check that out. So that's just to give y'all a little bit on song structure, right? And this is just something quick I just wanted to do. I'm probably going way longer than I want to go, but I really, really want young people, I really want Justin to get this. I really want them to really understand this. Because when I'm talking and I pop up things on the things, it's good as well. I'm going to still do that. But I just tried this presentation slide to see if this benefits him in a good way, that he could see it and I write it for him and he get a good gist of what I'm talking about, right? So let your frustration speak, right? Rap was founded by artists that were expressing their hardships and the ills of life, as well as celebrating the good things, right? We have conversations with people and what media outlets, right? We always do, right? We have conversations with people and we're always in tune with media outlets have, right? So when we're writing steps, right? Step out of yourself when you're writing. Don't just write from a first person's view all the time. Sometimes you can step back out of yourself. Like I said, we have conversations with people, right? We watch media outlets, we watch things on TV, different things. So we understand another thought and another opinion besides our own, right? So sometimes it's good to take a step out of yourself and think about how the next person's thinking. Because remember, that next person might be your next fan. So we have to take that person into consideration, right? So when you're thinking about that, step out of yourself, like I said, first person view, and think of how someone else may feel about your topic, right? And it's going to make your music more relatable if somebody can relate to your music. Sometimes some people got good music, good songs and stuff, but we just don't really relate to it. It's like, you know, so what's crazy and what's great is when you don't have to be from the same background as a person or anything like that, but you can create something that can break the barriers of lines of color, race, of creed, of different thoughts, you know, and that's what you want your music to do. You want your music to break those barriers. You want your music to transcend time. You want your music to be timeless. You know what I'm saying? So you most definitely want to think outside that box. You most definitely want to think about other people think when you're doing music, right? And when you're writing music, right? Where do you begin? Where do you, like I said, think of your memories. Think about the things. Start by writing things that you know. Don't try to emulate anybody else. Emulate you. Because when a person listens to you or when I listen to you, I'm listening to you, not for your mentor, not for who you looked up to. I'm listening to you for you. So think about you and do you, right? So the first thing I would say is no boundaries, be like water, right? And this is a Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee adopted this principle as well, like be like water, because, you know, having no form is the best form sometimes because you're able to maneuver, you're able to change and adapt, right? This is what Bruce Lee was doing, and this is why he was so good. He studied Wing Chun, but he mastered other people's styles. So when he fought, he varied his styles as the fight went on. You know what I mean? He was changing styles and switching constantly, you know? So if you prepared for one thing that he did, then you wouldn't know about the other things. What would you do when he brought out other styles? You see what I'm saying? So be like water, have no boundaries, right? Music is like water, it has no shape or boundaries. Explore melodies, try mixing melodies, you know? For example, you could go a melody bar, right? Let's say you sing a melody, whatever, like a Drake or something, like a melody type of thing, right? So you'll do like a melody bar or two, right? Let's say you go melody bar, then I do a rap bar, like I'm rapping, boom, right? Not to say this is what you want to do, but you got endless possibilities. I don't have to just rap. I don't have to just do melodies. I don't have to just sing. I can blend things, you know, and that's what I call infusion. And that's something that I'm most definitely going to get on in one of the next episodes. I might just do that on my next episode. I might make the next episode on infusion, because infusion is a real concept that people need to understand, because we are so limited and sometimes we put ourselves in boxes. And music is not in a box. We take the music and put that in a box. But you can't be in a box when you're doing music. You have to be free. You got to be able to create. Some people, like when I write so many different kinds of songs. I wrote R&B songs and different kinds of songs. And sometimes I write country songs and different stuff. And maybe I've given a country song type sound. It's not full country, but you know, it's blended. It's like an infusion record. And an artist like, damn, that's not my style though. You know what I'm saying? I don't really sing that. I really sing like some 90s R&B. You know what I'm saying? I get what you sing, but you got to be able to adapt as well. You know what I'm saying? You got to be able to bend. This is what I'm saying. Have no boundaries. Be like water. Expand your thinking. You know what I'm saying? Expand your thinking. Like broaden your whole perspective of what you can do with a bar, what you can do with word plays and flows. You know what I'm saying? Some people don't know how about creating flows. You know what I mean? But to create a flow is just like in the name itself. You know, it's a flow. It's a vibe. It's an energy. It's just a thing natural. A flow is a natural thing. So if you're just conflicted in a box, you won't be able to play with the words in a way, because you might just be fucking around in the studio or something like, yo, da, da, and you just say something in a way that's so crazy. Now you call it a quick flow, and it's crazy like that. So sometimes the greatest things happen organically, you know? So like I said, on this one, like I said, rap was founded by people expressing their hardship and their ills, as well as celebrating the good things. All right. We have conversations with people. We watch media outlets. So when we're writing, step outside of yourself and step outside of that first person's view, per se, and think of how someone else may feel about this topic. And maybe you can add some of that too and give your music the perfect balance of your thought and some other thoughts as well. So other people may be able to relate to your music. This is how some key points of making your music more relatable. So no boundaries, be like water. You know, music is like water. It has no shape. You know, it takes shape of anything. It just creates moods. It creates vibes. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So try mixing up melodies. Try exploring melodies. Try playing with, like I said, rap bar, melody bar. Maybe I'll do 4 melody bars and then 4 rap bars. Maybe switch it up, 2 melody, 1 rap, 3. You could do whatever you want. You can play with endless flows. You know what I'm saying? You could go into, say, a bar. I could say 2 different bars that don't rhyme, then bring back that first bar that rhymed. See what I'm saying? If you say it in a way. So there's endless possibilities of what you can do with a bar, of what you can do with a rap. Like I said, take your time when you're writing music. Don't rush it. Take it line by line by line, right? And then when you get line by line, you get 4 bars. So you're going to do them in 4 blocks. After you get 4 bars done, you got 12 to go, right? You get another 4. You knock another 4 bars out. You got 8 to go. You knock another 4. You got 4 to go, and you knock 4 more out, and now you got a full verse. So you don't have to put the pressure on yourself like, damn, I want to finish this. Damn, how do I finish this? Damn, what do I write about? Damn, and putting all this pressure on yourself. Take your time. Take it line by line. Like I said, you got your topic. You get your topic. You create this little bubble. So just something visually that you could see. But if you could see it in your mind, you could create this bubble in your head. But if you want to create this bubble, you just draw a circle and you got your title, and then you start drawing lines and say, this is something, I want to make sure I talk about that in there. So this deserves a line or 2. Some things are so crucial that I say, I think I need 2 or 3 bars to expound on this one little line, because this is deep enough that I want to really make sure that the audience really gets my point on this line. So sometimes I might use another line to emphasize another line. So you have those choices as well to do. So like I said, there's endless possibilities of the things that you can do, right? And you know, what's the sense? You know, what's the sense of biting and all of that for what? Create your own sound. Create your own sound. This is how you get by locking in with producers. You get to create a sound, you know, production, different things like that. I was talking about a lot of different things like this in my last episode, and I'm going to be talking about things like this on my next episode. You know what I mean? Like, how do you go about locking in with a producer? You know what I mean? That's some of the first things you want to do too. Not when you're writing, you want to start writing first and get your gist and start feeling how you feel. And then we start talking about you going to the studio. And when you go to the studio and you start getting a sense of your sound, that's what's the best thing about being in the studio versus rapping on other things and other platforms. When you're in the studio, you get the sense of your sound. You know what I'm saying? Imagine like a Pop Smoke. You know what I mean? He sound good, but till he get in the studio, you're like, damn, this nigga voice sound real. You know what I'm saying? You see his voice is really, really good in the studio. Some people have like a studio voice, like even like singers, like a Whitney Houston or something. R.I.P. Bless the dead to Whitney and Christine. You know what I'm saying? Like some people have like in studio voices. It's just amazing in studio. You just like the music when you hear it, like a Pop Smoke, right? Because of their voice, right? So there's so many things that you can do. There's so many ways that you can go about creating. And I'm helping Justin already. You know, he's been letting me hear different raps. I've been trying to get him on the program for one episode. He's still a little shy, but one of these days I'm going to get him on an episode so that he can inspire some of the young people that's doing music out here. Because he's working, and he's actually studying his craft, and he's like messaging me, and he's on top of me. You know what I'm saying? Like he hitting me, like, yo, what's up, yo? What's going on? You ain't drop a next episode? Like he hitting me. He the one who started up, like, yo, you should do an episode and let me see some stuff like that. And now, you know what I'm saying? He hitting me like, damn, you ain't doing nothing. What's up? I'm like, damn, he on me, man. So he's most definitely on me, man. So it's real, man. It's most definitely real. It's most definitely real. This is how to rap with Roaster, how to write songs with your boy, Roaster. And I just want to help my young artists not have writer's block. That's why this segment of my show is called Writer's Block. So if I've helped you in any way, you can leave a comment. Most definitely leave a comment. You can share it if you think that it'll be helpful to another young artist or young people. Like I said, this was on the fly. This is not something that I really plant and pre-plant to do. I just tried to do a presentation slide format so that maybe some of the younger kids can see it. And when they read it back, they can read it instead of me just talking. I really want them to see it and really be able to read what's going on, right? So hopefully I've achieved that. You know, this was on the fly. I really didn't put this show together, but my next episode I will. A little bit more concise, more pictures, different slides, just to make sure that my young people are getting the message, are sharpening a craft. You know, I'm most definitely up to, you know, you can leave messages. You most definitely can take my email, shootablock.sbtv@gmail.com, shootablock, shootablock.sbtv on gmail.com. And you can send me some different stuff. If y'all making show me some of the new stuff that you're writing out, my young people. Y'all can let me hear some different things. Maybe I'll play some stuff on live if you want me to. If you have some courage, you could come on the live with me and let some of my people know about what you're doing and what you're writing about. And maybe let us hear some of the music. I'll play some of your songs and stuff like that. So, you know, I'm here for y'all. So just let me know, all my young people, all my people that's being helped by this. This is what I'm doing it for. I'm only doing this for y'all. I have other segments that I want to run on my program as well. But this segment is for y'all. So I just make sure that I just want y'all to know that this is for y'all. So it's all about y'all views, all about the things that y'all think. Let me know. Make sure you're on the YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, like, share, whatever you feel like doing. But just make sure you leave a comment and let me know if I'm touching points that you want me to touch. If there's some point, because you may be past this stage of what I'm teaching right now. So if it's something that you need me to maybe dibble into a little bit real quick, leave the comments and I'll get into that. I'll bring up your name or whatever and say, we have a question from you. And I'll go my best about explaining that question for you and the answer. You know what I'm saying? So feel free. I want everybody to feel free. This is an open source thing. I don't want nobody to feel like we're blocked. I want to break down those barriers that we can't connect with each other. We can connect with each other. Yes, we can. I know Black people can connect with each other. There is love, and Black love is golden. All right. I'm not just doing this for Black people, but I am a Black man in America. So I most definitely want to see my people climb. I want to see us do good things. And I want to see my young people using their minds to do some positive things, picking up that pen instead of picking up a gun. You know what I mean? Picking up that pen and that paper instead of picking up a pack. You know what I'm saying? Like some of the things that I did as a young kid at 12 and 13 years old. See what I'm saying? So if I can help some of the young people, you know, I have sons and I want them to know things and I want them to grow up too and in a reasoning. You know what I mean? I want them to understand and have reasoning. So I most definitely want my young people to leave a comment, like, and subscribe. Let me know. This went on a little bit longer than I wanted to. You know, this was just a live stream and I was teaching y'all as I was going in my live stream. So this wasn't a planned segment, a planned episode, but it is episode 3. So hopefully this was informative to all my people. I salute to y'all, you know. Like I said, subscribe to the channel. If you have not, subscribe to the channel. Uda 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 on YouTube now. And you already know the vibe, man. This is another episode of Writer's Block with Roaster, how to rap and write songs.